The Buddha's path. What do we read from? From where am I teaching you? I'm teaching you from the Pali Canon. Pali is the name of the language in which Buddha taught. And all these teachings together are called the Canon. This is the Pali Canon. Now, in the Pali Canon, this has been divided into long wisdom suttas and short suttas and medium range suttas. So this is like the medium, that's why it's called Majjhima, the middle length discourses. This is the Saṃyutta Nikāya. These are numbered. You can study them in a particular numbering fashion, but they are very, very short, all of them. They are numbered in this. Anguttara Nikāya is the most useful for householders. These are very short, very to the point for householders. So they separated out stuff that was taught to the monks and nuns, and that which was taught to the householders. So obviously it has many common wisdom pointers, but it is taught at great length to monks and nuns, and to householders it's kind of short and terse. So you'll find the shorter ones in Anguttara. And these are the longest, Digha Nikāya. Each sutta is like 20 pages, 30 pages, really long. These were specifically taught to the monks and nuns. So most of the dependent origination suttas that I have selected from this book. It's a very popular book amongst teachers because it's all sequenced. No? You can teach in a sequential manner. So it's very easy for a teacher to pick up, okay, this is a proper sequence of the teachings. Let me teach it in this manner. So I usually prefer to refer to this, and then when I think that I need to teach a longer version of the same sutta, then I go pick up from Digha Majjhima Nikāya. This helps me figure out in what sequence the Buddha taught and how it really goes into our heads better. So all the 10 suttas for this particular retreat at least I'm teaching from here, except one which I'm just teaching one page from a 35-page sutta. It's too long, Digha Nikāya. So I'm just teaching you one page from that because it's very important. So as we get deeper into the retreat, the deeper ones will come up. They cannot be seen at a beginner level. This is a beginner sutta which you have in front of you, the first one. It is for the uninstructed, somebody who has not even begun. He is uninstructed, he doesn't know well. Saṃyutta Nikāya 12.61, Assutavā Sutta, uninstructed. Basically for the one who has not even begun the path. Somebody who's uninstructed, how is he? What happens to him? How is he taught about the dependent origination? Sequentially we are going. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's grove, Anathapindika's park. There the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus thus, Bhikkhus, Venerable Sir. Those bhikkhus replied. The Blessed One said this, Bhikkhus, the uninstructed worldling might experience revulsion towards this body composed of the 4 great elements. He might become dispassionate towards it and be liberated from it. For what reason? Because growth and decline is seen in this body composed of the 4 great elements. It is seen being taken up and laid aside. Therefore, the uninstructed worldling might experience revulsion towards this body composed of the 4 great elements. He might become dispassionate towards it and be liberated from it. I'll pause there. What is he saying in the first paragraph? Even somebody who is not on the spiritual path can recognize what is this body, what point is there to be so attracted to this body or that body or that body or that body. What is the joy in the body? This gets old, this gets sick, it ages, it dies, it gets diseases, it has so many problems. Even an uninstructed one can develop dispassion towards the body. Have you seen such people? They've not walked on any spiritual path, but they are now dispassionate about the body. Yeah. So he's saying even an uninstructed can get to that natural dispassion towards this body. And it's made of 4 elements. What are they?
Water, fire, air.
Earth, water, fire, air. Yeah. These are the 4 elements out of which the body is made. Different permutations and combinations of these are your blood, your bones, your flesh, yeah, everything that is there, the mucus, the phlegm, whatever is in the body, all that is formed from a permutation and combination of these 4 elements. How much can you love it? How much can you get attracted to your own body or to another body? A point will come where this attraction will fade. Yeah? So you don't really have to be instructed or walking on a spiritual path to lose this captivation, to get dispassionate about this piece of flesh. It happens also very easily in an uninstructed worldling. You'll see this word used a lot, worldling. So you don't have to be really spiritually advanced to see that what is this, what is there in this. Yeah, he's taking you towards something. Let's move towards the next paragraph. But because as to that which is called mind and mentality and consciousness, the uninstructed worldling is unable to experience revulsion towards it. Please highlight. That is the problem. Yeah, the attachment is to the mind, to the mentality, to the idea of I am that consciousness. That attachment is what prevents me from developing the same kind of dispassion towards the mind. So where is he going? What is it taking you towards? That dispassion should not be just of the body, but it also has to be of the mind and the sense of I. When he uses consciousness, this false sense of I that we have. This is where you should pause and think, am I there yet? Do I have revulsion towards the body, but I find it difficult to have revulsion at the mind level? Am I there? Is this instruction for me? Ask yourself that question. So the uninstructed worldling is unable to experience revulsion towards it, unable to become dispassionate towards it and be liberated from it. For what reason? Because for a long time this has been held to by him, appropriated and grasped thus. This is mine, this I am, this is myself. Highlight that. These are words that are repetitive in the suttas. Yeah, these are the teachings of anatta. Anatta, there is no I, there is no self. This is the highest level of teachings on the Buddha's path, and this is the beginner level sutta for somebody who is studying anatta. So recognize, do you have that? Yes, I accept that I am not the body, but I feel I am the mind that is knowing the body. If you're stuck at that level, then revulsion has not developed there yet. Now what is revulsion? Is revulsion aversion? Is it hatred? What is revulsion? Not wanting to get trapped in it is revulsion. Yeah, I see a nice magic trick. I want to be captivated by the magic trick. I see a beautiful movie, some lovely landscapes and beautiful hero heroine, lovely story going on. I want to be captivated by the movie and the movie story. Do you recognize this in you? The want to be captivated is there. I want to feel that feeling that I get by watching the movie. I want to feel that feeling by which I get by being with this person. I want to feel that feeling that I get by being in this situation. That want to feel that feeling that I'm talking about, that is cut off. That is revulsion. No, I'm not captivated by this wanting to indulge. Revulsion is very clear. It's not hatred, it's not aversion, it's not anger. It has no negative aspect to it. So the moment I recognize dependent origination and I see the links and I break down whatever I was talking to myself about in samadhi, what happens? By putting it down in the journal, what will happen?
Revulsion.
The revulsion will happen. Yeah? So we are trying to bring this into our practice tomorrow morning. Yeah? Now I don't want to feel that feeling that comes when I talk to him or her in my mind. Yeah? I don't hate him or her. I can go back home and speak to them. Right now important is my samadhi. Right now what is important is shunyata. Yeah? That. Yeah? That is the meaning of revulsion to it. By recognizing it's only a magic trick, it's only an illusion. What to get trapped by it? Yeah? How petty, how silly. Like that. Clear? Okay. So for a long time I have held the belief this is mine. For the mind he's saying. He's talking about the mind. This mind is mine. This is me. I am the mind is the feeling. I am the one that is knowing the body and I know, okay, I am not so attached to the body. But I cannot say the same for the mind. I am very attached to the mind. I want to feel that I am thinking. I am knowing. This is my memory. This is happening to me. Yeah? So whatever is happening at the mental level, I am very attached to it. So recognize, is that the case with you? Yeah? Then that is something that I need to work on. Therefore, the uninstructed worldling is unable to experience revulsion towards it. It means mind here. Unable to become dispassionate towards it and be liberated from it. Very clear? The second paragraph is about mind, mentality and consciousness. Yeah? Why did he put them together? Because on the Buddha's path there is no separate consciousness. It is a mental idea, I am this. It's not real, he says. Yeah? It's a mental idea. There is no I there. He's speaking about anatta here, anatta teachings. Yeah. Instead of revulsion, saying let's cancel out the word and make it like disenchantment. That's a better word. So wherever in the sutta it says revulsion, we will read it as becoming disenchanted. Why? Because literal translation of revulsion in the English dictionary is very strong. Now, this is not that kind of a revulsion. It is more like in the English dictionary, it is disgust. You don't have disgust towards the body. But you see, why to, it's so petty, why to bother so much about it, like that. This drama is so petty, why to bother about this so much? That kind of thing. It's not a disgust. Yeah, the revulsion word is too strong, so you can call it disenchantment. Okay. Move to the next paragraph now. It would be better, bhikkhus, for the uninstructed worldling to take as self this body composed of the four great elements rather than the mind. For what reason? Because this body composed of the four great elements is seen standing for 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, for 100 years or even longer. But that which is called mind and mentality and consciousness arises as one thing and ceases as another by day and by night. Just as a monkey roaming through a forest grabs hold of one branch, lets that go, grabs another, then lets that go, and grabs still another, so too that which is called mind and mentality and consciousness arises as one thing and ceases as another by day and by night. He's saying, why are you so caught on with the mind? The mind keeps jumping all the time, like a monkey. Yeah, at least this body is steady. Yeah. So easily you have become disenchanted by the body and you're not disenchanted by the mind. How has this happened? In fact, you should get disenchanted by the mind, because it's like a monkey that's just grabbing onto one branch, then the next. Clear? So it's easier to get disenchanted by that which is constantly changing. The body is at least just there all the time. Yeah? So it's not, the change is not evident. We are talking about the uninstructed one. We are not talking about somebody who has recognized a higher level of seeing. Yeah? So for the uninstructed one, he also sees that, the mind is constantly changing. How did he even get attached more to the mind than to the body? That is the question. Therein, bhikkhus, the instructed noble disciple attends closely. Instructed. Now we've come to the instructed. So this now uninstructed one has now started getting instructed. Therein, bhikkhus, the instructed noble disciple attends closely and carefully to dependent origination itself. Thus, please open your dependent origination table, because I've turned off the slides. So just keep the table in front of you. Even from your journal, just keep your journal in front of you. Okay, just keep it open in front of you so you'll know when I read what it is. Therein, bhikkhus, the instructed noble disciple attends closely and carefully to dependent origination itself. Thus, when this exists, that comes to be. With the arising of this, that arises. When this does not exist, that does not come to be. With the cessation of this, that ceases. Yeah, this is the formula for dependent origination. When this is there, then that is there. It is causation. Yeah, when this is not there, that is not there. What? That is described ahead. That is, with ignorance as condition, volitional formations come to be. Do you see that? When one is there, then number two comes up. With volitional formations as condition, consciousness comes to be. Do you see that? With 2, 3 comes up. With consciousness as condition, name and form come to be. With name and form as condition, the six sense bases come to be. With the six sense bases as condition, contact comes to be. With contact as condition, feeling comes to be. With feeling as condition, craving comes to be. With craving as condition, clinging comes to be. With clinging as condition, existence comes to be. With existence as condition, birth comes to be. With birth as condition, aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure and despair come to be. Such is the origin of this whole mass of suffering. I will stop there. Do you recognize how you go into suffering? He has described how suffering happens. From 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 all the way to 12. That is how the origin of suffering happens. Now he also describes the path how to get out of suffering. Yeah, but is this part clear for everyone? Yeah, and I already did the description before we went into the sutta. So we've done the whole example, thinking of somebody in samadhi you didn't want to think of. Yeah, and then you start talking and then you're lost in your samadhi 20, 30, 40 minutes. This is the origin of suffering. Understanding how it originated. Clear? Now, how does it cease? That is ahead. But with the remainderless fading away and cessation of ignorance comes cessation of volitional formations. I'll pause there. The moment one is erased, two will be erased. How will one get erased? How will the ignorance part get erased?
And you can repulse the mind and the body.
Yeah.
Or be disenchanted
Yes.
towards the mind.
Yeah, means what will happen when in samadhi that same thought comes up, the same face flashes?
You don't indulge in it.
Correct. Now I've become disenchanted. So even if that face flashes, it comes and it goes away. I am at the bed of the ocean, deep in my samadhi. I am not getting carried away by the tsunami waves on the surface. I don't even know. A point will come where you don't even know what it is. You just know there is a movement. It was a thought, it was a feeling, it was a sensation, it was a perception. You don't know what it was. You will come to that point in samadhi. How did that happen? Because naturally I became dispassionate towards whatever that arising is. My dispassion naturally makes me wipe away or end or eradicate this suffering. Okay. How we already did that, right? Observe the Vedana for the beginners, yeah, for the seniors at the Vijnana level observation. Yeah, so you will work at your level, what we describe, simply observe. Yeah, every time something gets you out of samadhi, open the dependent origination, write it down, become aware this is happening. It will not attack you. Now something else will attack you. Put that down. Now something else will attack you. Put that down. So basically you're seeing how the illusion operates. The more you see, the stronger your observation becomes. It becomes weaker in front of you. That magic trick has no magic in it anymore. That is the key. It loses its magic just by the power of observation. Okay. So now I'll read the whole thing. But with the remainderless fading away and cessation of ignorance comes cessation of volitional formations. With the cessation of volitional formations, cessation of consciousness. With the cessation of consciousness, cessation of name and form. With the cessation of name and form, cessation of six sense bases. With the cessation of six sense bases, cessation of contact. With the cessation of contact, cessation of feeling. With the cessation of feeling, cessation of craving. With the cessation of craving, cessation of clinging. With the cessation of clinging, cessation of existence. With the cessation of existence, cessation of birth. With the cessation of birth, cessation of aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure, and despair. Such is the cessation of this whole mass of suffering. Do you get it? One ceases, two will cease. Two ceases, three will cease. Three ceases, four will cease. And it goes on and on and on till 12. Okay. You're not going to see the cessation of every link. You're just going to be absorbed in nothingness, in shunyata. That's how you know. I did a fantastic samadhi. I sat for 3 hours and nothing pulled me out. 10 on 10. You have attained the cessation of the mass of suffering that was bothering you for so many days. That should be your goal. In a few days, I should get to the point where one full sitting, however long, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, however long you sit, that whole sitting, I did not get attacked by any suffering. A single thought is suffering, right? Once it comes, then it goes on and on and on and on and on, and I'm like all the time at war with it. That is suffering. Not a single one pulled me out. That should be your goal. Clear? Is the goal set for the 10 days? Yeah. Today is only day 1. I don't even expect you to get there so soon. Yeah. Today is only laying down the map for the 10 days of the retreat. By day 10, can I get there? One full sitting without any suffering. No thought, no feeling, no sensation, no perception bothering me. Some movement is known, but it didn't pull me out of samadhi. That should be my goal. Clear? I don't need to explain dependent origination again. Yeah, I've done that already. The first thing we did was the dependent origination. So, going from 1 through 12 is how origination of suffering happens. Going back, the ceasing again will go from 1 to 12. Each will go away. Yeah. It's simply by the power of observation, I have, let's say, doused the fire. I didn't let that fire create another spark which could come back again. Yeah, otherwise that spark can again light another fire. No? And how was that spark created? Why? My constant indulgence, my constant reaction to it, my constant story, going from upadana all the way to jaramarana. This constant indulgence was creating that seed was getting sown, or that spark was getting embedded somewhere, buried deep. One day it was going to blow up like a lava. I cut that cord only. I didn't allow that to happen. How? I didn't allow from upadana to go to jaramarana, from clinging all the way to jaramarana. I recognized that Vedana only, observed, and there, doused it. Yeah? Douse the fire means to put cold water onto the fire. The fire gets eliminated. What is the cold water I'm putting here? Hour of observation. Just observing. There's nothing to do. Simply observe without trying to find a causation story. No talking to yourself in observation. Do you say to yourself, I'm observing now? No. You're just observing. There's no English, no Tamil, no French, no Telugu, no speaking. You're just observing. Observe. It will burn you if it's an unpleasantness. It will burn you. Allow it to burn. Allow it to burn. Slowly, slowly, the flame will become smaller and smaller and smaller and die out. Clear? This is the way to cease the suffering. What you have to do in tomorrow morning's Anapana Samadhi is clear? Yeah. Just through the power of observation, I am going to attempt to cease the suffering. Clear? Dependent origination is clear? Last paragraph. Seeing thus, bhikkhus, the instructed noble disciple experiences revulsion. We substituted it with disenchantment. So, the instructed noble disciple experiences disenchantment towards form, disenchantment towards feeling, disenchantment towards perception, disenchantment towards volitional formations, disenchantment towards consciousness. Experiencing disenchantment, he becomes dispassionate. Through dispassion, his mind is liberated. When it is liberated, there comes the knowledge. It is liberated. He understands. Destroyed his birth, the holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done. There is no more for this state of being. Means this particular story has ended. Yeah? I nipped it in its bud. I recognized some Vedana, I observed. It dissolved, it disappeared. I nipped it in its bud. So what has to be done has been done. Yeah? This thing that could have come into being, I did not allow it to come into being. That is the last one. There is no more for this state of being. That's it. One victory. Get out of your samadhi, journal it. One victory I had. So, you will journal from 1 through 7. At 7, I burnt it. After that, not applicable, all the way to 12. Yeah, and then you make a curly bracket from 8 to 12, that cessation of that particular whatever arising happened. It did not come into being. This is how you get over every little hindrance that will come up in your samadhi tomorrow. Every thought, every feeling, every sensation, every perception of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. And be prepared. Every now and then you are going to come out of samadhi and be journaling only. It's day one. It's going to happen. There will be so many things bothering you. And that's okay. I'm mentally prepared. Ekta prepared me for it. And soon it will become lesser and lesser, and your samadhi sittings will become longer and longer and quieter and quieter. Yeah? Be mentally prepared for that. Okay? That completes the sutta. Any questions?